What's going on, y'all? It's David or Dawhveed, and today we are continuing my top 5 guns list for flak with the top 5 SMGs for our favorite beast-loving Vault Hunter. This list was a tad hard to decide between because there are a few clear frontrunners, but other than those, a lot of the SMGs are pretty lackluster. As with the other top 5 videos, I will be briefly covering what the weapon does, why it's on this list, what kind of build you should use for it, where to find it, and what different variations and anointments that I recommend. So without any more delay, quickly jumping right into the list at the number 5 spot, I have the legendary Doll SMG, the Nighthawken. This gun does slightly above average damage, but the best part about it is its high fire rate and the special ability that it has, where it does high cryo damage during the day and changes the high fire damage during the night. If you're in need of a good cryo damage SMG for your build and you like the feel of the doll weapons like I do, definitely go find yourself one of these. They fit pretty much into any power and side build with high DPS and do a pretty good job of freezing enemies for icebreaker artifact builds. If you're looking to farm for one of these bad boys, head on over to the Demo Skagan rare spawn on the Draughts of Pandora and take down the group of Skags there, or head over to the Carnivora map on Pandora and take down Rackman. I recommend finding the highest magazine size variant and one with a 4 or 5 round burst rather than the full auto because there's no delay time between the bursts. As for anointments, I recommend the Rack Attack one for a good Rack Slag build, the elemental damage ones, the standard 100/125% weapon damage ones, or even the Gamma Burst one. I'll only be leaving the anointment screens up for each gun for just a short time, so remember to pause on these if you need to. Coming up next at the number 4 spot, I have the new Maliwan legendary from the Moxie's Heist of the Handsome Jackpot DLC, the Ion Laser. I was actually very pleasantly surprised by this gun when I first picked it up. It's everything that I wanted the Quasar purple SMG to be and better. It fires a continuous beam of high elemental damage, and when you stop firing, it fires a number of high damaging elemental projectiles based on how long you initially fired. The beam itself already does above average damage, but the orbs that fire after are the bulk of the damage. This gun fits perfectly into a Megavore build because of how Leave No Trace works. You can fire for a significantly longer period of time, which will cause more damage from your orbs once you stop firing. You can find this gun as a drop from Evil St. Lawrence in the Spend Opticon area of the DLC. I recommend finding the ×1 variant because you can shoot longer without needing to reload or stop firing. My favorite combination of elements that it can roll is Radiation and Cryo. As for anointments, the elemental magazine ones are best, followed by the standard 100/125 ASE ones or the Gamma Burst one. In the middle of my list at the number 3 spot, I have another Maliwan legendary, the Kibbes Worth. This gun has pretty good elemental damage at a really fast rate of fire. Since it's Maliwan, it can come in 2 different elements to have good type coverage. The best part of this gun though is the special ability it has where once you kill an enemy, it spawns a small circle of healing on the enemy's dead body that lasts for 10 seconds. It can heal all allies inside or just very close to it, and this effect has no cooldown, so killing multiple enemies with this gun can spawn several healing auras for you and your team to benefit from. This gun is great with Megavore as well, since it deals damage pretty quickly, but you can also use it with my support flak build that I made a while ago with Gamma Burst healing and other supportive functions. I'll leave the link to that video in the upper right corner of your screen if you're curious. To farm for this gun, all you have to do is head on over to the Maliwan takedown and defeat Wotan until you find one. I definitely recommend the ×3 variant for the highest damage, and as for elements, shock/corrosive is a good combo to have, as well as radiation/cryo. As for the anointments, the Rack Slag one pairs perfectly with the support flak build, and the elemental ones can help cover whatever element you're missing on your gun. The 100/125 ones work as well, and even the splash damage one works. Rounding out the tail end of my list at the number 2 spot, I have my personal favorite on the list, one that if you already watched my videos you probably already saw this coming, the legendary Hyperion SMG, the Redistributor. When the takedown came out, I dismissed this gun rather quickly, but once I played around with it and started making a few builds on it, I quickly realized how powerful it was with the right build. This gun has a high rate of fire since it's Hyperion, as well as high elemental damage, and it has the ability where every 7th shot is amped and chains between enemies. I spotlighted this gun in 2 of my favorite builds of mine, so definitely go check those 2 out if you haven't yet. To farm for the Redistributor, head on over to the takedown in Maliwan Black site and you can get it from the drop from Wotan, but also from the Valkyrie fight, which is much easier to farm. If you're looking for one for the builds of mine, definitely make sure to get a cryo or radiation one. As for the anointment, a Rack Slag one could work out well, the elemental damage ones work out very well with the special ability, the 100/125% ones are great, and the Gamma Burst one is really good. This gun pretty much shines with any anoint though. At the final spot on my top 5 SMGs for flak list, I have none other than the legendary Malawan SMG, the Cuts Minh. I mean, who really thought that something else would have taken the spot? This gun has been one of the best guns, let alone like submachine guns, in the game since its release. It does extremely high elemental damage, probably the highest out of all the guns bar like the launchers, but the caveat is that it only comes in fire, shock, or corrosive. The Cuts Minh, after charging for a short time, fires out a beam of elemental damage that elongates horizontally as it travels, and it passes through units. This gun is great for mobbing and especially great for bossing. It checks pretty much every single box that you would want from a good all-around SMG, and that's why it's number 1 on my list. The Cuts Minh is best used with the power inside for flak for the most optimal damage, so either like fadeaway or gamma burst with the green tree is just perfect. To farm for this gun, head on over to the Meridian outskirts area on Promethea and take down Borman Nates. He's a pretty easy farm once you fight your way or just run past all the pesky COV enemies there. I recommend the binary version of the Cuts Minh because it just has more damage, and as for the anointments, the rack slag one is incredible to burst down bosses, the 100/125 ones are best with fadeaway, and the gamma burst one is by far the best anoint for gamma burst builds with the Cuts Minh. And that, my friends, is going to wrap it up for my quick top 5 SMGs list for flak. If you liked the video, please make sure to go rack attack that thumbs up button because it helps my channel out a ton and I appreciate the heck out of you guys for it. If you would like to come chat with me and my growing community every day and come be a part of this, then come on over to my Discord server where myself and several others love to chat and share items for each other across all platforms. If you enjoyed this series and are left wanting more, make sure to go let me know in the comments below and go gamma burst that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next videos. I will be continuing the series and releasing the video for the top 5 launchers to use for flak really soon, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled. That's it for me as always. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll check you all in the next video. See ya!